The essential reformer repertoire can be challenging enough for many clients. For those who need a little extra intensity, but may not be ready to progress to the intermediate level, we can add some simple variations that will test strength, endurance, and flexibility. In all cases, we want to make sure the exercises we use are safe, keeping in mind any physical limitations of the individual. John Gary, a Stop Pilates Master Instructor Trainer, will lead us through specific exercises. To help achieve our goals, we will vary the spring tension, starting position, and pace as we go along. Here's John.
All right, let's get started. Are you ready?
It appears I drew the small straw, so I'm the one that gets to be challenged.
That's
okay,
right.
okay, I
This
can
time,
handle this.
this time.
I can handle this.
All right, we're going to start with the footwork.
Okay.
So normally in footwork, we can have 3 or 4 springs on, depending on the client's strength and what we want to get out of the exercise. You can increase or lower the resistance to get a little bit of a different feeling from the exercise. So the first one, we're going to challenge more by increasing the resistance. So we're going to go up by 1 spring from what she normally does.
Thank you, John.
And we're going to do toes apart, heels together with added resistance. So from here, make sure that the knees are in line with the toes and the pelvis, lumbar, and spine are neutral, ribs are relaxed, neck and shoulders relaxed.
Okay.
And breathe in to prepare. Exhale, press away. Inhale to come back in. So by increasing the resistance, you are working more the phasic muscles, right?
Right.
The more superficial muscles. So clients who sometimes say that they can't feel the work, this may be one way to help them to feel it in the beginning so that they're actually feeling something as they're doing the work.
I'm
right?
feeling something.
Can
I'm
you
definitely
feel it?
feeling something.
Have we done enough repetitions?
Yes, I'm
Probably.
not superficial, but I'm feeling something.
All right. So the next one we're going to do is the toes wrapped over the bar. And for this one, we're going to decrease resistance. So I'm going to go a little bit, actually a lot lower than what Moira probably normally uses for this. I recommend that you go to a half spring or 1 spring, because the goal of this exercise is to have the client feel the sense of having to really stabilize the torso as they move out. And this is great for clients who need an understanding of where they need to stabilize. Are you ready?
Yes, yes.
So inhale, prepare, exhale to press away and come back in. So especially at the far end and at the very close end, you're going to be watching to make sure that your client maintains that.
Yeah, you really want to kind
exactly.
of,
You really just want to let it all go. And that's what we're helping the client to understand, that no matter what the spring tension is, we've got to keep that sense of stability throughout the torso. And that's what it's all about. So come all the way in.
Just like that.
Just like that. That was great.
That was fun.
It's like you've done this before.
Just a couple of times. Just a couple of times.
Next is heels on the bar. So for this one, we're going to challenge by doing pulses. So let me go back to Moira's regular tension spring.
Don't tell anybody what that is.
I'm not going to say a word. It's our secret. Legs are together, heels on the bar. And from here, we're going to do close range pulses. So you're going to press out just a little ways and then exhale as you pull the carriage back in each time. You're watching to make sure that the client is maintaining that neutral position through the pelvis and lumbar spine. And you're really challenging the work on both the adductors to keep the legs together and the glutes and hamstrings. And I think that's plenty.
I feel 'em.
And just press out 1 time just to release and come all the way back in. So let's do that same thing now with the high half toe. So on the balls of your feet with the heels lifted, you're going to press out about halfway, or not quite halfway actually, and then pull it back in. Quick pulses. Up to 10, that's great. With the heels lifted, you're really feeling this in the soleus, yes?
Yes.
And also in the quadriceps.
Yes.
Lots of work there. Very good. Perfect stabilization. Imagine that, you're doing it well. Press all the way
And
out
I feel
for a
it
release.
right in my, yep.
Can you?
I
That's
can.
great. And that's actually where we want to tell the clients to engage is the hip extensors.
Right.
Because normally clients will go right into those quads, but of course, a trained professional will know to engage those glutes and hamstrings, but we do want to remind our clients to do that.
Yeah, and that's a good play. I think clients really do feel, that's a great way to get them to feel that. They really
It is.
do. Yeah.
No, it's great.
Yep, I agree. Good. Keep going.
All right. Next is the lower and lift. So from here, we're going to just change the pulses to 3 pulses, and then we're going to do a full press out, lower the heels, and come in. So press out just a little ways, and exhale, pull it in 3 and 2 and 1. Now reach all the way out, lower the heels under, lift them up, and then come back in and pulse in 3, 2, 1. Press out, lower the heels, come back up. Now this does add some complexity to the movement pattern. So make sure that your client does it the regular way a few times first, and then add the pulses in if you think they're ready for this. And come all the way up and back in. That's great. Okay, from there we're going to move to second position, parallel. And this time we are going to do the same thing we did in the last one, the 3 pulses and then the full repetition. So pressing out just a little bit. Exhale, pull it in 3, 2, 1, all the way out and come back in. Now in second position, your feet are about hip distance apart. So now we have to stabilize the knees without using the adductors to press against each other, right? So your adductors and abductors both have to work to stabilize, and you're increasing the intensity by pulling in and doing the pulses. That's it, and then reaching back out. And remember, when you are pressing from your heels, there is a stronger connection with the glutes and hamstrings. So you can emphasize that with your clients. Moving on, the single leg. So from here, we're gonna reduce your springs down.
Thank you.
There we go. And normally 2 or 3 springs for the single leg work. But remember, when you are intensifying it, you might need to go down in resistance a little bit. Now you can tell me how this feels. I have a feeling that you're gonna be able to do it, but you can tell me if we need to go up or down. So, high half toe position and 1 leg bent, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna add the little pulses in the beginning. So press out and pulse in 3 and 2 and 1, reach away and come back in and pulse 3, 2, 1, reach away and come back in and pulse. And she's doing a fabulous job here. She not only has to stabilize through this 1 leg, but because she's only on 1 leg, she really has to work to control the pelvis, make sure she's not hiking the hip on one side. Yeah, exactly.
Or this, actually, yeah.
Yep, and especially as you reach away, the pelvis just wants to go its own way, and you have to really stabilize with that. And let's do the other leg just to balance you out. Thank you, Moira. Just jump right in there. Press all the way out.
You're saying all the right things, John.
Exhale, come in and pulse, 2.
Just continue to say nice things.
Press all the way out and come in and pulse, 3, 2, 1. Lengthen all the way out, and 1 more time. Come in and pulse, 3, 2, 1. Reach away and come back in. That was great. And now the développé prep. So 1 foot on in line with your sit bone, the other leg is going to be stretched out over. This is a great thing to do before you do the full développé in the intermediate level. It's kind of a graduation. So from here, you're going to press back, bend your knee and stretch it up, and then bend your knee as you come back in, stretch it back over the bar. Inhale as you press back and reach it up. Exhale as you come in and stretch it over. And do that again. Inhaling, pressing back and up, and exhale to come back in. That's great. And this is just a really nice way to introduce that complex movement pattern to your client before you get started.
And it does feel great after all that pulsing we were doing earlier, just to get a little length through the hamstring.
Yeah, because we were really engaging those hip extensors, and now you're giving it a little release, a little stretch, working stretch, up and over. Yeah, that's a really good, really good stretch. And you can see Moira has to work as she stretches the leg up for 2 reasons. One, if she doesn't have the flexibility that she has, she would want to lift her tailbone up as she,
it's tempting to really want to do this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And kind of go for an increased stretch, but really what you're doing is you're losing the pelvic position, so you're not really increasing the stretch on the hamstring when you do that. And the second is the hip wants to hike up on that side as you come in and bring the knee in. So you have to make sure that you keep that alignment as well. All right, perfect. Let's move on now, and we're gonna go to the hundreds. Oh, fun, the hundreds. And just because they're not intense enough,
oh no.
we're gonna add the fitness circle to this. So the straps are over your shoulder rest, just grab those straps. 4 springs, just kidding. 2 springs for this.
Not that I couldn't handle it.
And put this right between the ankles. That's it. Now with adding the fitness circle, we're going to be adding intensity to the lower body. So both by engaging the adductors to put some pressure on that fitness circle, and also because when you extend the legs out, that fitness circle feels a lot lighter when you hold it in close to when you hold it away, because the lever length changes.
Make sure you tell everybody that.
So this is a very challenging exercise. Breathe in to prepare. Exhale, keep your knees bent, flex your upper body up, and straighten the arms. Pulsing up and down, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, reach out and squeeze the circle, 2, 3, 4, 10, and in, 3, 4, 5, and reach and squeeze. 2,
This
and
is
the
a
abs are
very
really
slow
flat. This is great.
100.
And come in. I can slow it down a little bit more. And
that's
exhale,
fine.
reach, 2, 3, 4. Now hold it there. Just release the tension as you inhale. And then exhale and squeeze. That's it. And release the tension as you inhale. And exhale and squeeze. And this is very intense. She's making it look really easy, but I know how hard it is. And hold it right there. Breathe in, bend the knees. I think that's plenty. And then exhale and release all the way down.
That was like
great.
150.
I think it was actually 60.
Slow motion.
All right, from there, we're gonna move on to the bend and stretch. So for the bend and stretch, we have you on 2 springs. We're gonna press back. Straps go on to the feet, and we're gonna work the small range. So from here, we're gonna do little pulses in the close range. So again, you breathe in to prepare, and exhale, press out 5 and 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you can do a full one, just point through the toes, and then come back in, and again, little presses out. And here, it's harder than actually doing the pulses against the foot bar because you have to stabilize. The ropes are not as secure as that foot bar is. So you have to hold, stabilize, and still work glutes, hamstrings, abdominals to help you keep the control of the pelvis. That's great.
Yeah, it's a great exercise to bring awareness to the hip extensors.
To firing into the
another
hip.
one.
Yeah, that's right.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
great.
That's
Next.
great. Okay, now we're gonna do lateral rotation. Let's bring the fitness circle back. You can keep your feet right there where they are. Yeah. And we're just gonna put the fitness circle between the ankles. Let's make sure I get it even for you. How's that?
Please.
Right there. In lateral rotation, so for this one, breathe in and then exhale, extend the legs out and give that circle a little squeeze and then come back in. So this adds lots of intensity because not only are you working against the spring resistance, you're working against the fitness circle resistance as well,
Oh.
pressing in, and it is really challenging on those inner thighs. And then come back in one more time. Exhale, press away, and then come back in. That's great. Okay, take that back.
You can really feel also if you want to push one leg more than the other.
If you have an imbalance, yeah,
Yeah.
it shows up really well with
Yes.
this. It does.
Not that I have any imbalances.
Of course not. All right, you can stay right there. We're going to go into the mid-back series. Get ready? We're not switching this time. This is all you. All right, we're going to go down to 1.5 springs here. And we're going to do triceps with some torso flexion. So one of the variations that you can do to increase the intensity of the mid-back series is coming up like you would in an ab prep. So you're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, extend the elbow, and flex the torso up simultaneously. Inhale to release back down. And exhale to curl up, slide the ribs toward the hips, connect with those abdominals, and then inhale to release back down. 2 more times. Exhale to flex up and reach to the fingertips, and release back down. And let's just do one more. Exhale, flex up. Now you're gonna stay there and we're gonna go right into the second one. So that is another way to intensify by grouping exercises together.
Keep going.
So reach the arms up, breathe in, exhale, pull down. Breathe in, you're staying in flexion and doing the second one, which is pull down, straight pull down. That's it. And one more time, pull down, that's great. Now stay right there. Release the upper body back an inch and then press into those straps to come back up. Inhale back and exhale, curl up and inhale back. Good. And exhale, reach into those straps. One more time, I think. Inhale back, exhale, curl up, and now release the arms up and release the torso back down. I know how challenging that is. That was incredible. Very, very good.
You can feel that one.
Yeah. All right. Legs tabletop, arms reaching out to 45 degrees. And we're going to keep your upper body down here, and we're just going to focus actually on the arm work on this one. So breathe in. As you exhale, you're going to pull down and just do 3 pulses. 3, 2, 1, and then release all the way back up. And again, exhale, pull down. So now she's still working the abdominals to stabilize, but really we're focusing here on the lats and the pecs as well. Yeah, and then come back up. And one more time, exhale, pulse, 3, 2, 1, and come back up. And then reach the arms straight out to the side. Now you can, with all of these, come up in flexion or stay in flexion with the torso to increase the intensity.
You could.
We'll keep you down for this one. And you can just do straight pulses as well. So bringing the arms right down to the side and pulling in for 10 pulses. And here, because your arms are angled differently, you're hitting the muscles a little bit differently as well. It's always good to vary things. So not only can you vary the
10.
All right, into small circles, bring it down, and then let's turn the palms down and do quick circles, 10, 9. So now we're speeding up the circles here and using stabilizers of the shoulder to keep everything really intact and not come out of that more neutral position through the scapula. And 10 in each direction is great, and then release back.
Yes, you can really feel that. That's great exercise on your shoulders.
And just I was mentioning before, you could do different positions with the hands here. So let's just show that. So triceps, you can have the palms facing down as you do a tricep press. Okay, that is kind of the regular version of the one you'll see most often. But you can also turn the palms in to face each other and press down. So this is a more neutral position with the forearm, but you're hitting a different part of the tricep and you can feel the difference. Now, if we really want to challenge Moira, we can flip the hands over and press down from there. And this is very challenging, and she's doing it on a pretty good spring resistance there. That's awesome. And press down one more time.
That's good. You're saying nice things now,
And
John.
release.
That's good. Keep that up.
All right, that's great. Come on up, and let's move on to the back rowing preps. So from here, we're just going to change this resistance a bit for what we're going to do. Anywhere from 1 to 2 springs is good on this one as well. And the first one we're going to do is the plow. So with the plow, we are actually going to start to incorporate some of the movement patterns that you will see in the intermediate level, but we're going to be in the intermediate level on our knees. So here, we're going to do the press back with the pulses. So breathe in to prepare, exhale, press back as far as you can, release to the hips, and then pulse back 3, and a little further 2, and release in a little further 3, and all the way forward. Inhale. Exhale, press back, release a little, and pulse 3, a little further 2, a little further 1, all the time growing up in the spine, and we've got one more. Exhale, press back as far as you can, release to the hips, and pulse 3, growing through the spine 2, and 1, and come all the way forward. Excellent. Now we're going to move on to open elbows. How are we doing?
Good. We're just fine.
I feel really good.
Yeah, you feel great, I'm sure.
Put the straps up to your elbows. In the essential level, when we do the open elbows, we reach both arms back at the same time. So you'll open arms, just like that, and come forward. Now we can do this really challenging work, which is unilateral. So just reaching one arm back and then coming back to the center. So Moira's really got to use all of her torso stabilizers to keep her from rotating as she does that open elbow. That's great. At the same time, you can see all the muscles here around the scapula working to slide the scapula toward the center. That's perfect. That's good.
Good.
From there, bicep
Can't
curls.
talk and do that one.
That's a tough one.
Okay.
The bicep curls, again, normally done both arms together, but you can do, let's do alternating on this one. So you can do one arm at a time.
Sure.
And then switch to the other arm. And this is even more challenging than doing 4 or 5 on one and then switching to the other, because each time you change, you have to
really
switch the stabilizers that you're using.
Switch quickly.
That's right. Good.
Am I switching quickly?
You are doing great. That's perfect. Come all the way forward. For triceps, you're just going to flip your hands over. That's it. And we already showed the different hand positions you can use on all of these, but let's just do palms down. Exhale, press both arms back just to start with, and then bend. And now we're going to do alternating. So press one arm back, exhale, inhale, bend, and switch, and exhale. We've got to balance you out. We did biceps, we've got to do triceps, and switch again, exhale.
Was this the amount of springs we practiced on?
I think so, and that's good. We'll stop right there. Now, remember that if your client